where you came from the other side, not bad or good, but you grinded, like you said, got your MBA and started building.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it started, and I don't know how far back you want to go, but playing in college, didn't even think about going to the NFL, and then I think it was probably my sophomore or junior year. Ron Turner, my head coach, and I were at probably like a Rotary Club thing or something. You'd go meet with these people and speak for like 5 minutes and shake hands, and it's just kind of what you did back then. And Ron got up there and he's like, "Fred's going to play 10 years in the NFL," and I'm like, "Huh, no kidding. Hadn't even thought about that." Right? I thought I was going to school to go to school, and playing football was where it was going to be. And then over the next couple of years, it just changed. And then you kind of get to that point where the draft's about to happen. You think you're going to get picked really reasonably high, third or fourth round, and you don't. And so then you kind of just start getting this edge. And so I've just kind of consistently worked with a little bit of edge. And so taking that from high school to college to the pros and then now into business, it's just kind of been like kind of the secret sauce throughout the different years.
Your edge is the mindset edge is huge. Well, welcome everyone to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona, and this is one of my favorites. I've had a few ex-NFL athletes on here and sports in general. It's been my life for my 64 years growing up. My uncle played for the New York Giants, so football kind of resonates with me more. But we're going to talk about the bridge between sports and business and how successful you can really be. And if you're not into sports, this may not be your podcast, but that's okay. I would still listen, because this guest is going to bring out some great things that you're going to want to write down. Make sure your pad and paper are ready. Here's your gratitude for today. One day you'll look back and be so proud of how far you have come. Again, one day you'll look back and see and be so proud of how far you've come. And interesting, this fits our guest really well because of his background and history and everything he's done. Let's bring our guest on. Fred, welcome to the show.
Steve, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to today.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. NFL background, you played in the NFL. It's funny I come up with that gratitude. I know you're proud. I want to speak for you, but you're pretty proud of your NFL career and where it's taking you today, correct?
Yeah, it took me a while to be proud of it. I think when you're in it, you're not really thinking about it as much, right? And so I wish I would have been more grateful. Look back in those years, stepping out on those fields, you had moments where you really appreciated how amazing it was. But like most things, you get caught up in it being a job, right? And you're so consistently competing. But looking back, I've discovered not only did it help me a lot then to kind of get to where I am now, but I use tons of those things now. I mean, consistently working with different teams and different leaders, I pull on many, many things that I learned back in those time frames.
You remind me of Desmond Clark, who played for the Bears, tight end. Mm-hmm. You may know him. He's a successful business guy like you. And he told me his story. He'd walk in the locker room and see all these guys that weren't really smart or weren't looking at after their career.
Yeah.
But he went back to Wake Forest like you, got his MBA and are successful in business. Did that help you when you went back to get your MBA?
It did a little bit, yeah. I wish I would have been some of these. I mean, some of these guys now I watch are already have companies starting and doing a bazillion different things, which I don't even know how that would have been possible. I felt like I was up training, eating, working with my family, going to church, back, and it's just this consistent grind. Like I don't even know when you'd think about business, but the NFL does a good job of providing different programs. I remember doing a couple programs where we go out to. Which one's in Pennsylvania? Wharton School of Business. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of got a little taste of what business was like. So that gave me some ideas. But at the same point, being an undrafted free agent and then battling through the first 6 years, like once you get to 6 years, like I'm making 10, right? This is what it is. And so then all of a sudden I got hurt in 7, hurt in 8. And then all of a sudden I'm done and you're kind of like, wow, what's next? And so fortunately I had a lot of really good mentors and leaders lean into me over those years and kind of show me that path. And then the MBA world just kind of stepped in next, right? It just seemed like that next level of kind of learning and growing as a person. And it was definitely helpful. I remember meeting with the group that kind of vets if you could get into the program and being like, hey, all these other people have 10, 15, 20 years of experience to go in this executive program. Like, I don't have any of that. They're like, no one's been to a level you've been at in this group, right? And so you need to lean on those kind of successes and the type of people you've been around. And you're going to probably bring more to the table than most. And I was like, never thought of it that way. So it was really interesting to kind of have that perspective.
Yeah, and you talk about all those guys doing business. Usually it's the successful guys, the Tom Brady's, the the Shaquille O'Neal's,
Tom
the
doesn't
guy.
count. You can't count Tom.
I
He played like a bazillion years as a bazillion. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though,
but
he
you're
is
right.
definitely way up there.
Yeah, and I think their celebrity has helped with that with
Mhm.
businesses as well. Where you came from the other side, not bad or good, but you grinded like you said, got
Yeah.
your MBA and started building.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it started, and I don't know how far back you want to go, but playing in college, didn't even think about going to the NFL, and then
Mhm.
I think it was probably my sophomore or junior year. Ron Turner, my head coach, and I were at probably like a Rotary Club thing or something. You'd go meet with these people and speak for like 5 minutes and shake hands, and it's just kind of what you did back then. And Ron got up there and he's like, "Fred's going to play 10 years in the NFL," and I'm like, "Huh, no kidding. Hadn't even thought about that." Right? I thought I was going to school to go to school, and playing football was where it was going to be. And then over the next couple of years, it just changed. And then you kind of get to that point where the draft's about to happen. You think you're going to get picked really reasonably high, third or fourth round, and you don't. And so then you kind of just start getting this edge. And so I've just kind of consistently worked with a little bit of edge. And so taking that from high school to college to the pros and then now into business, it's just kind of been like kind of the secret sauce throughout the different years.
Your edge is the mindset edge is huge. That's
Mhm.
it's from NFL to business. Do you think your resilience and discipline from the NFL and sports has helped you here today?
Oh, for sure. And my business partner, Tim, always gives me a hard time. I like to learn new things so much, right? And it came from that time frame, right? And I'll be always be like, "Have you read this book? Are you checking this?" He's like, "No. When do you have time to do this?" I'm like, "I need to feed that itch," and it's from when I was playing, constantly having to kind of get in and get better. I mean, I'm 6'7", 270. So let's not act like I'm not blessed with really good gifts, right? But still wasn't as fast as most of the guys in my position. Not quite as athletic. I had different skills I learned. And so I had to figure out what it was. And so I was someone who didn't make mistakes. I always learned the playbook. I knew how it worked. I played hard on every play. And then I just kind of kept carrying that into those next years, right? So when I got done, I'm like, hey, what do I need to learn next, right? So hence the MBA world. And even today, I mean, this morning, I'm realizing like I need to change my morning routine. It's getting stale. Kind of how do I do that to kind of keep leveling up what's going on? And I realize that I'm moving so fast. I probably need a shorter morning routine, right? Not trying to sit here for 2 hours and do everything else everybody else tells me I'm supposed to do. So taking those different things and understand what works for you, both in sports and then kind of in transition and just now to continue and grow is just always just try and figure out honing your craft. Steve, you know how it goes.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's my mind, my heart's like beating quick because it's exactly what this is. But the key is you keep moving forward,
Yep.
which sports teaches you. Taught me. I didn't play at your level. It doesn't matter. Hey, if you played high school sports, you get it.
Yep.
And the other
For
part
sure.
of it is team, which I love what you're doing because you work with teams. And I got to add this: your company has Thrive in the name. I think you're a thriving NFL player because you worked at it so hard, right?
For sure. And like I said, I don't want anybody, if someone's going to Google me or something, this happens every time we have a new client, right? And they're like, he's gigantic, right? Like, it's not like he couldn't just step in and play, but there is. I mean, I will tell you, you walk on that
Yeah.
NFL field, everybody's big, everyone's fast. And so you have to have that edge. And going from a kid in a small school to Big Ten football, no one thought I'd even play, right? And so that was the edge. Going from not being drafted into the NFL, everybody thought I wouldn't make it, so that kind of gave you that edge. And then when you get done, like the business world, for the first 3 or 4 years, everybody's like, "This football guy just wants to me to give him money," and right. So like anytime you went into sales roles, and he doesn't know what he's talking about, and so it kind of have to build over time, kind of what it looks like. So just it's a grind. It's a little bit of grit, but it's also like I said, it's kind of having faith in good people around you. And like I said, I've been blessed with, my wife is my biggest freaking fan and support mechanism. And then I've had some really, really good coaches and mentors and leaders over the years that have just leaned in like crazy. So that's helped a ton.
Mentorship. I was going to mention that, so you read my mind because that's powerful. Every successful person has a mentor. I don't care who they are. They've had somebody or
Yep.
something that, usually somebody, not something, maybe something that'd be kind of weird. Business is chaos, and
Yep.
you bring clarity to chaos. What's your best way of doing that?
I think a lot of it's really learning about the person in the business, right? When I'm working with the business owner, right? We've my business partner Tim's always kind of pushing me a little bit more, which is good. I need that. Um, but when I'm sitting with these different groups, I really want to learn about them and their past. So often people go in and are like, "Hey, just use this program and use this system," and it doesn't work that way. You got to get to know them. You got to get to know kind of what they've done, what they've battled, and actually where they want to go. And then really just being able to see that. I mean, like we talked about this, one of my weird superpowers is understanding kind of people and kind of a business model pretty quickly. And it's just because I've had a lot of reps at it now. And so I sit in this room and I understand, I'm like, oh, this is kind of like this. Have you tried this? And then we just kind of hash it out and work through it. And then getting them to understand that there's always a next step, is kind of that key part for clarity.
Yeah. And sports tells us practice makes perfect, which you're never perfect, but I used to hear that as a kid. I'm a little bit
Oh, it's
older than
brutal.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Practice makes perfect. Over reps, but that's the key in business.
for sure.
If you want a better sales team, they've got to practice selling all the time. Get on calls, get on whatever they're doing to sell, right?
For sure. And we have a really good system that we know if leaders kind of step in, step up, or step out when it's time, that we can move them along. But every week we meet with our team and it's like, hey, what are we doing wrong? Like we do a lot of like kind of looking inward. How are we handling this? Do we need to provide more clarity? How do we do that? And so we're consistently trying to do those same things. But I laugh at the practice makes perfect. And then who was it that said that perfect practice makes perfect? And there's not really such a thing, right? It's uh, anyone I talk to that's coming out of the NFL or even college sports that are trying to figure out the next, I'm like, figure out what you really want to do, and then you just have to start getting reps, right? It's
Yeah,
the same thing as when you played, in college or high school, or wherever it was.
yeah. Or Allen Iverson, if you don't know, is an NBA player, used
Yeah.
to say, "Practice."
I,
What
I was
means
I was I was
practice?
trying really hard not to go down that path too. I know
Okay, I
every
took
time
us down
practice
that
comes up,
hole.
I know.
I just kept popped in my head when you were talking. It's
I
like,
know.
and that's a whole nother we won't jump into. What's leadership mistakes that you've seen that's pretty consistent? And maybe it's not, but is there consistent misconceptions in leadership?
Um, yes, when it's so funny, like I go back to the mentorship comment, right? Like, are you a mentor leader, right? Or are you a leader that's actually just out there painting the picture, right? And I think there's a difference between the two. We consistently we run into two groups of people with the clients we work with. One of them is this, hey, I've gotten to this stage and I am just in operations all the time, right? And when that really means is they just haven't really developed a team or trust or whatever it is to let go and not micromanage everyone, right? That's a pretty consistent one. The
Mm,
ones that have become really good leaders have really laid a foundation. I mean, it's you go back to five dysfunctions of a team, right? They really trust their people and they've been able to lay that foundation of trust to let them work with autonomy. And so every time we work with people and we're working with leaders, like if you can't trust someone and build a layer of autonomy with those different people, you're not building a team and you're not going to be able to thrive or scale, right? And so they get stuck in this consistent rut of recycling people or losing clients. And so we're constantly looking at that. And so when I think of a leader, it's someone that is uh, leans into their people, but it's more about kind of painting that picture for clarity for people so that they can really kind of thrive in those different roles.
how do you bring the servant heart into leadership?
Mm, it's hard sometimes.
Absolutely. I'm glad
Yeah,
you said that. Most people don't. Yeah.
it is. It's hard. My team and I talked about this the other day. I was pretty fired up with a couple groups we're working with right now, just because they're not listening and doing what they're supposed to be doing. But it just makes me realize I need to spend a little bit more time with them, right? And it's understanding. Um, Anytime you get someone who's resistant to change, it's usually because of something they faced in the past, right? Someone burned them, or they trusted too much, or they did something, and you've got to really work with them to understand that you have to take that next step, right? I'm not a therapist. I'm not like our friend Stan who wants to kind of go into the depths and like, and kind of work through kind of how their day goes and what has to happen. But you really have to paint that picture. Like if you really want to be in this step and you want to be a leader, you can't do it alone. And how do you lean into those people and take a step through whatever frustration or pain you've had either with them or someone else in the past? So
Definitely not a solo act. An audience, if you're listening, Fred nailed it. He's brilliant. Not a solo act. Don't wear all the hats. Nobody, I mean, Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, Warren Buffett, they don't wear all the hats.
yeah. And the best thing, and I just told you this, and I'm going to be using this a lot over the next couple months with a few groups. I run into the same problem, right? I mean, with how I'm wired and how fast I want to go and what I want to do and accomplish, and everyone I want Thrive CXO to reach and touch, it's like I just want to go faster. And a lot of times when you try to go faster, you don't build up kind of the team and the people and other leaders as you go. And so I've even committed to myself, like I got to figure out a way to build those level five leaders, right? So that they can kind of step up and really lean in and it can't just lean on me, right? And so
Yep.
I know that I've got great team of people. I've just got to figure out how to use them all better. And so when I sit down with different leaders, I try to get them to do the same thing.
Well, and that's the challenge, is the communication and find out where they're at, where they fit. Because here's the servant's heart that I'm learning, I'm telling and teaching people. We're not always going to say yes. Like you had a great story there. Hey, I've got mad at my, now I'm using the wrong word, but frustrated because they weren't doing what they're supposed to do, these two clients. But you don't keep putting that round peg in a square hole, Fred, and
No.
serving them if it's right. When do you release that and go, it's just not working?
Yeah, we're going with this with the few groups right now. It's, hey, we're going to do everything we can to set this person up for success. Like, hey, this is your role. This is what winning looks like. Is this something you want to do? And a lot of times they're like, yeah, of course. And then when they get in it, right, more often than not, with how we've set things up, people start to realize that, hey, I don't want to do this. This isn't what I want to do. And so it comes with they decide to move on, or they realize we have to bring in someone else who can, right? And it's, a friend of mine that I worked with a lot out in Austin used to always say, clarity is kindness. And I know he took that from one of the other books because I've heard other people say it, but it just rings when I kind of hear Kyle say this all the time. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. Like, you're kind of annoying me with this over and over again, right? You keep saying this over and over again. And it's reality, right? Like, especially with the type of work we do, where we're changing out teams and business models and structure so much and people get uncomfortable, really having a clear picture of what it's going to look like, even just 3 to 6 months out, or what their role needs or what people around them need, really gives them that opportunity to be like, okay, I get it, right? I might disagree or you might agree, but you get it. And so then what's the next step past that?
I love that. I'm going to borrow that. Tell Kyle, thank you. And if I get
I know, we need to look it up. It's in a book somewhere. I don't remember what.
Yeah, we'll do a little.
It's not one of the ones I read. It's one of the ones he read. I need to do a search.
A little chat GPT will tell you. Yeah. Clarity is kindness. But it's so true. It's, like I talk to, entrepreneurs all the time. I don't like this client. Have you worked with them all the way? 100%? Yes.
Yeah.
But you don't go, hey, I'm getting rid of you because you sucked. You use the servant's heart. Like, here's what I'm seeing. It's not meshing. Let me find you another coach or whatever that next person is. That way you can serve them in a negative situation. So it's beautiful what you said. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs that are like, I'm happy where I'm at. I make $150,000 a year. And that's okay. I'm not judging it, but I think businesses should look to scale. Like it's 5% a year, maybe 50, whatever, but always looking to scale. When is a business ready to make that next leap?
Oh, that's a good question. A lot of these business kind of sit in this like lifestyle mode for a while. And we have a client right now that he had a business 25 plus years, lifestyle business, was fine. All of a sudden he's like, okay, this isn't what I want anymore. Right. A lot of times it's triggered by the founder owner and really what they want. Right. If someone comes to us and they're like, hey, I'm fine at 5 million a year, I just want to kind of get more efficient. Like, we're usually not going to work with those types of groups. We're not very helpful. Right. But I also, from the world of sports, if you're not getting better, then you're getting worse, just because everyone around you is going to get better. Right. And so I've seen this happen with a few companies that we'll go in there and we're kind of making things more efficient. And we're helping set different things up. And at the same point in time, they're not trying to figure out different areas to grow into, or how do they kind of get better in their sales process, or how do they bring new people into the market. And then all of a sudden, someone else is kind of moving in and kind of absorbing them. Right. That can be good or bad. You never know kind of the different dynamic. But I just probably another coach screaming at me and warm-ups at some point in time. It was, you had to get a little bit better each day, right? And it kind of pick that goal and kind of keep getting better, or else someone else was going to pass you. Just how the nature of the beast is.
Well said. That's such a powerful message. And like you're saying, we're not telling somebody go 50% growth this year. It's probably unreasonable for most.
Yeah.
But just getting better. I always say get better 1% every day. It's a small little click. And maybe you do 3% today. Yep. Maybe I'm 3% better because of what you're teaching me today. So I've already hit that goal.
Books I read back in the day, wasn't it? The 1% one, was it? It was in one of them.
It was. That's where I stole it from.
I know. Good.
To be honest, but it's a great one.
We're stealing stuff from everywhere. That's how we work. I love it.
But audience, if we're impacting you, which I know we are, that's a good thing.
Yes. Yep. For sure.
So when a client comes to you and says, "I'm struggling, I'm going to close my business. Can you help?" What do you say?
So I had to do that once. But the hard part is that we had actually, okay. So I had spent a number of years kind of figuring out what I wanted to do when I grew up after I got done playing, right? Got my MBA, went into multiple different types of companies, spent some time in cyber, spent some time in manufacturing, finance, healthcare, all kinds of different areas, right? Eventually, was kind of this was right around when COVID hit. A friend of mine calls and is like, hey, my business, I haven't been involved for 5 years. I have two people who are about to walk out the door. They're my top two
Mhm.
people. What do we do? So I went in there, worked with him. This was kind of probably my first COO fractional experience. Built it. We had everything set up. We had built a new team. We'd moved those two people out. Well, then they changed the law in Arizona that changed how they got paid, and it cut the revenue by like 70% almost overnight. Yeah. We sat down, like, hey, do we look into new markets? What are we going to do? And then finally, I remember sitting in his office and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I've had enough. And I was like, oof. And I remember just sitting there for like 5 minutes. Guy was a fellow believer, and we'd known each other for a long time. And I knew he had poured a ton of time and kind of grew up in this business. And so we sat there for a little bit, just kind of quiet, right? And then it turned in, all right, how do you see this playing out? And so I walked with him, and it was hard, right? Just it was not as hard to have to do it. I mean, you know the steps. There's not a whole lot of options when you get to that stage, but it was just really hard to kind of see how he had to kind of process it. And we'd built such a good team, and I remember standing in front of them and letting them know, and it was hard. So I've done that type of work. I don't know if anybody would want to hire us to do that type of work because, like I said, it's one of those that we're always kind of looking to kind of move and grow. But I mean, I've had a lot of friends over the years now come to me with these types of situations, and it just turns into just helping them kind of walk through options and steps on even how to do it.
And what's he look like today? Is he better off? I mean, is he doing
It took some
well?
time. It took some time for him to
Yeah.
figure it out. We met a few months ago, and now it seems like he's really loving what he's doing, which is great, right? But it was a tough transition, and I at times feel bad that I wasn't more involved afterwards because I mean I was kind of growing this company and moving and still trying to move and grow. But he and I follow him now on Instagram, and it seems like he's really enjoying what he's doing. But he's on my list of people I need to reach out to soon.
It's a great story. Thank you for sharing because I do have
Yeah,
people that listen that are struggling and it gives them some great something to chew on. And you just remind me of your NFL career. You
yeah.
played a game and you didn't have the best game. You guys lost. And you look back, go, God, Sunday I could have done this, could have
Hey, I
stepped
played for the
here, right?
Cardinals and Raiders. We lost a lot. Okay,
That's
so
true.
yes, there was plenty of those moments. Uh, Unlike a lot of my friends walking around with Super Bowl rings, I didn't have a single winning year in those NFL years.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, just it correlates well, right? I mean, it is really hard when things are going bad not to just go into your own bubble and worry about yourself and go into survival mode. I mean, I even think in those NFL years, like there's my last years with which group would that have been? It would have been Dave McGinnis and that group, who he just passed away, right? He was one of my coaches out here at the Cardinals. We knew that staff was done, right? Probably 3 weeks into the end of the season. And you had some guys that went into how do I protect myself, right? And then you had a lot of other guys who really leaned in and were like, hey, we're going to, Dave was such a good human, right? And so it was great. We kind of leaned in and wanted to do more for him, right? He
Yeah.
went in to have a great career, coached I don't know how many bazillion years as a assistant head coach and coordinators and all kinds of things, right? But it's tough when you kind of get into those moments because when things start going bad, keeping the team together is probably one of the hardest things to do, right? Because people start jumping ship or kind of worrying about themselves, and so when you can kind of keep people aligned, which he did with that group, like I look back at that and how he did that was really really impressive.
Yeah. It's really similar to the story about the business you were talking about struggling. Same
Oh, that's
thing,
the one I was
different.
talking about. That's the leader I was talking about. Sorry.
Oh,
Was yeah.
no, no, that's
The
fine.
business
Okay.
was
That's,
struggling, like how much he leaned into those people and what he did for
yeah.
them and how much they rallied behind him and supported the process was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't see it in you don't see it in front of you, but years later you go, God, thank you, Fred.
Yeah,
That was
for
the best
sure.
thing you could have done. Because you do a 30,000 foot view of a business. And that's where you help.
Yeah, it's funny. So our business is a little more different. I mean, we're involved with these companies weekly, right?
Mhm.
And so we're in there a lot right now. I'm in there weekly. We've got other team members that sometimes more than weekly, just depends on the complexity of the business. And so we see a lot of what's going on. The good thing is since we're not in their business and just a catalyst for whatever they need, we're able to keep that at least 10 to 15,000 foot as opposed to really being in the weeds and helping them, right? It's funny. My past 2 weeks have been working to develop a partner program because we're starting to really learn that we complement all of these people that do like quarterly and annually planning like really, really well. Right? We don't want to do all that stuff. Like that's not helpful and it's exhausting. But we can really help the execution side of those pieces and walk with those owners in that kind of plan that needs to be executed. So it helps.
And you're a sounding board. It's what I'm hearing all this. You're a great sounding board. I can call Fred and go, Fred, or what are your team members? Hey, I've run into this. Yeah, here, let's do whatever you do.
Yep. How we set up our engagements, we do like weekly meetings and everything, but the CEO always has access to me, right? And how we've set these up, especially these higher level engagements. I mean, I think 3 of my calls the past 2 days were like text, like, hey, can we talk real quick? And so we jump on a call for 5 minutes and kind of walk through what's going on. And I know I'm going to do that here in a minute while I drive up before we go interview this leader we're trying to bring into a company here later today.
Fred, that's absolutely priceless for a CEO. I've talked to a lot of CEOs, and they don't have a confidant like that. Definitely in their business. Because
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny. We're talking about this. We were talking about mentors a while ago. I was just sitting here over the past 2 weeks realizing like it's time for me to find another mentor, right? Like I haven't had one for a number of years. And I'm like, wow, why all of a sudden am I getting a little more edgy and a little more flustered kind of with different things and not feeling like things are fast enough? I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a mentor or coach myself for at least a couple of years now. I'm probably missing something. And so something I wrote down this morning, as a matter of fact, that's kind of my next major objective is to figure that out.
Fred, you're awesome. We're coming to the end here. That's the self-awareness. Audience, if you just do that as an owner, entrepreneur, that's 50% of the way to me, because then you can figure things out. And that's you're doing it for yourself like you do for your clients. Well, let's get to know Fred a little bit more. I mean, I know you more than most. So I'm going to go to Arizona where you live. You're going to pick your favorite restaurant. I'm going to reserve a table.
Okay.
I want you to invite 3 people, whether dead or alive, who've been influential in your life. And for me, because I want you to order food for the table, what are you ordering for the table?
Oh gosh, dang it. I have not done this exercise in so long and it's changed so many times.
And it should, Fred. I'm glad you said that.
Oh man. The hardest part is so many people to be at my table. I'm about only probably 2 degrees of separation away from now, so it's possible. I mean, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, one of the people that I really admired and I still do was Erwin McManus, who's a church leader and business coaching leader out. And I actually went to one of his retreats about 3 or 4 months ago, and it was sat and spent a ton of time with him, and it was great, right? It's kind of like, all right, this is what I needed. And now I'm in a crazy thread with him that like come out, and I'm like, gosh dang it, I've got kids and stuff going on. This doesn't work. Anyway, when I think of people dead or alive, I still have a coaching and sports issue. And so if I could sit down with someone like Wooden or these people that were like iconic coaches that really built foundational books or mentorship, or like the people that have had these like crazy coaching trees, like even Andy Reid, like you look at all the coaches that Andy Reid has kind of spit out. So Andy Reid would be a fun one to kind of understand how he mentors and coaches people, because I've not met anyone who says a bad thing about that person. Um, from a business world, um, I listen to a lot of Ed Milet, right? He's another one that kind of build a lot of foundational stuff. So that would be interesting. He's pretty intense though. So I'm not sure.
Yes.
Uh, him and Andy Reid in a room together would be pretty interesting. Because I think they seem about opposite in terms of demeanor and temperament. And then I would want someone artistic, either musically or just something creative. And so I listen to a lot of these great musicians right now. If it's faith based, a lot of Brandon Lake. If it's just, I mean, I grew up a Foo Fighters fan freaking forever. And Dave Grohl does about a bazillion different things. I don't know if he's on my list anymore, but he's another one that'd be interesting. And so it is like it's hard to pick a person, but it'd be some coaching leader who's just mentored a ton of people, someone in business or working with a lot of leaders, just to kind of understand more about leadership, because I don't think you ever can learn enough about how to lead people. And then someone creative musically is kind of how I'd have to go down the path. Uh,
Table.
there's a restaurant my wife and I really enjoy, and it gives you a little sense of what I think it would be like to sit out in Italy, which we went to up in Scottsdale, called Virtu. And you can either do coursed or you can order off the menu. And so I'm someone who likes the sharing method, right? And so they have this giant bone-in slab of meat. I don't remember if it's a ribeye or whatever. And we did this about 6 months ago with some friends of ours and just ordered this thing and then a bunch of just other food and just shared and sampled and talked. And it was very, very fun. And so really, really enjoyed that. And so that's for that many people, though, you probably need two of those things, especially for some of these bigger folks like myself. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably where I would go with it. I know you're making me think. I need to pick my four now. I knew who it was 4 years ago, but those four definitely have changed since then. So
Yeah. And life's going to change. It will. And that's how I tell people 10 years later, it's going to be different. 2036, it's going to be a different group. Well, I'm excited because I love sharing a meal too. That's a great way to talk.
Well, you're coming out here soon, it sounds like. Maybe we have to go do that. So.
Absolutely. I see if I can find Andy Reid because my best friend looks just like Andy Reid. So it's funny you mentioned it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a smaller version, but
as much as the Chiefs drive me crazy, he just continues to just develop great players and great coaches, and it's pretty phenomenal what he's done.
It's him. Yeah, it has to be the core. Well, Fred, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a busy guy and just inspiring, motivating, and educating the audience. How can they reach out to you or learn more about Thrive?
Yeah. So, man, you might not like this, but I'm someone that I'll give my email and my phone number to just about everybody. So, Fred at Thrive CXO is easy. I see that one all the time. And then 217-419-3191. I've kept my old school Illinois phone number for a long, long time because too many people have it and it's too easy. So, I might not answer right away, but if you leave a voicemail, then I'll probably call you back.
Well, Fred, you're not going to like what I'm going to do here then. Audience, the first 5 people that reach out to Fred and mention the podcast, he'll let me know, say, hey, I saw the podcast, and I'll send them a gift, a book. I'm going to send it because I want to educate people. So let's get this going. Of course, you have to watch to the end of the podcast. That's the whole goal. And you get rewarded for that.
Hey, this one's fine. It's not one of those 3-hour ones we talked about the other day.
Oh, yeah. No.
When you first called me, I'm like, this isn't like 3 hours. I don't have that in me. I'd be tired and need a nap like halfway through.
Your wife would be yelling halfway through, where are you? We got to go.
I know. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Who is that guy? Well, thanks again, Fred. And audience, subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is a great one you can share when you get this podcast sent to you. Share it with people that can be motivated. People, NFL fans have a business. What a great way to listen to Fred. And, just clarity is kindness. Just that phrase right there might change somebody's life. And I'm a faith-proven guy like Fred. Don't we want to bring gifts and impact people, especially in this world today? So go ahead and subscribe. And me and Fred want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.